What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 9 of the Ascent, who of Al Ain Sports and Cultural Club in the FIFA World Division 20. Hopefully you guys are doing good. It has been a little while since the previous episode. Of course, that was the end of season special. If you did miss it, go check it out. As always, it was like a 40-minute long episode. So if you're enjoying the series and you did miss it, highly recommend you guys check it out. So anyway, you'll notice at the top right, we're actually a little bit further than the start of the season. The reason for that being is throughout the transfer window, I had dealings coming in and out, and I didn't really want to record the kind of, I guess, start of season episode until I had all my transfer dealings done. Add on top of that the fact that when it did come to record in the first game after the transfer window, my recording software failed. We find ourselves here midway through September, hoping to get a win against Atuli du Sahel, or Sahel, I don't know, these names. I'm just looking forward to when I get to the higher divisions and I can say every team's name, but until that day, I will struggle massively with names. So anyway, yes, as I mentioned, we have played a little way into this season. I will kick off just by showing you guys the fixtures. As you can see here, 4 games played in competitive football. We find ourselves doing fairly well all in all. We won the first round of the Cup, and that is the game that we have today. We also actually drew with Depression on the first game of the season. Not ideal, but, you know, it's still not a bad result. We dominated the game. They are predicted to finish 4th in the league, so perhaps a few points dropped. But nevertheless, good to get points on the board away from home against what will ultimately be one of the toughest games this season. On the back of this, I'm pleased to say we have bounced back well with back-to-back wins, leaving us with 7 points from our first 3 out of a possible 9 points. As you can see here against Heracles, we did pretty well. 6-3, Barbosa with a hat-trick, Vera getting 2, and Michel Bastos, in fact, kicking off the scoring, grabbing his goal in the 2nd minute. So anyway, that was pretty decent, and then on the back of this, we got a 3-1 win against Junior. As you can see here, really good performance all in all. We dominated the game for large spells. They did get a goal back towards the end. We followed up, made it 3-1. Very convincing win, and no less than we deserved. And also good to see one of our new signings, Hatton Bybri, getting on the score sheet as well. So anyway, without further ado, let's get straight into these transfers. Let's talk about what you guys missed over the summer. Fairly large changes across the board. As you can see here on the sales and the kind of, I guess, fees spent, an interesting kind of swing of money. We actually almost made as much money as we spent this year, which is kind of credit, I guess, to our approach this summer. I sold a lot of players on, a lot of big players on. Perhaps could have got more for them if I was in a higher division or if I'd kept on to them longer, but a lot of these players were particularly unhappy, and so I just let them go. So anyway, kicking things off, Carlos Fierro has gone to Sovitov for £3.9 million. Decent little sum for him. Didn't really break into the first team at us. He's not developed as well as Carlos Fierro usually would, largely down to the fact he hasn't been the focal point of our team, hasn't been getting that much first team football, and our training facilities aren't the greatest, although I am pleased to say over this summer I've made a real thing about trying to sort out my training facilities, sort out my training schedules, getting better staff, and hopefully that's going to aid in our players' development. So anyway, there's a load of players who went out here on frees. Diallo and Mori both went out on frees. 2 centre-backs who never really broke into the first team. I think Mori came in for like a few £1 million. So a little bit disappointing to not really cash in on him, but one of those things. 2 more defenders departing us were Happy Jelly and Villa, the South African and Slovenian fullbacks respectively on either side. I decided to let go. Both were unhappy, both were unwilling to sign new contracts, and ultimately it was easier just to let them go rather than trying to, I guess, cling on to them for another year. Fortunately, we have strengthened up the defensive area and made up for these players that have departed from us. Anyway, as you can see here, 3 more players that we sold, Emmanuel Frimpong, Vidra and Raskodani, all going out for a total in the region of, 14 million? It's not a bad kind of income for those 3 players. Raskodani can certainly go for more, however, his value was particularly low at our club because of the division we play in, because he was on a short-term contract, and with his contract running out next summer, and the same with Vidra, I was more than happy just to let these guys get cashed in. Whilst both of them were fairly solid for us last season, the emergence of Vera and Gabriel Barbosa as kind of our strike partnership meant that I was more than willing to maybe offload a few of these guys who were expecting more first-team football. Both wanted to move to bigger clubs anyway, so cashing in on those 2. And then Frimpong last year was good, but he had a lot of injuries, a lot of suspensions, and ultimately he only played 12 games for us. So to make £1.7 million off a player who we bought in last year on a free isn't too shabby, and I suppose the same could be said for Raskodani and Vidra, both players who came in on frees last summer, and both have gone out for substantial sums of money. Anyway, a few more players here, as you can see, that have gone out on loan, and then 2 more sales to tell you guys about. So we'll cover the sales quickly. Harry Maguire departing to Boleslav for £1.2 million, and Bikacic going out to Derby for £3 million. I mean, he is a good player, but as you'll see as we go through this, I've more than made up for the kind of departures that we've had in the defensive region, and I really feel like going into this season, we have a better defence than we ever had last. So yeah, that makes up the majority of the sales. The players that you can see going out on loan for the most part are just kind of players who came up through the youth recruitment system at the UAE, so they're not very good. A few players who are slightly more than that. Here we have Ryan Gould, not really developed too well at the moment, but he is on loan again this year at Olimpija. Hopefully he can develop there. And then 2 more players to tell you guys about, kind of the bigger players who went out on loan, I suppose. Paul Nardi here is gone to Willem, second team. I believe they're in the world qualification pool. I might be wrong, but we've let him go out to them. He's a good little keeper. Hopefully first team football is going to help him develop. His progress has certainly been kind of halted by the fact he's not been playing too much first team football for us. And then last but not least, Asamoah Gyan going out on loan. Unfortunately, he's only going out on loan with 10% of his wages being filled. Been desperately trying to sell him over the last year. Had little to no success. However, fortunately for us, his contract does run out at the end of this year, and I will not be renewing that. And I am very hell-bent on stating that now. He will be out of the van. 175k a week on wages has simply crippled my finances and could have been invested so much better elsewhere. Unfortunately, just one of those things. So those are the transfers. On the outs, in terms of the ins, I really focused on getting my defensive area improved. Midfield's always been a good strong point of ours. So anyway, I'm not going to cover the first set of players here because I'm going to be covering that in the Academy episode that's going to be coming up in the next few days. If you don't know what that is, I talked a little bit about it in the live con before, but essentially at the start of every season, I'm going to be reviewing the youth Academy team at Alain in a separate episode, talking about things like who I've signed in the previous kind of regen window, players who have particularly improved over the summer, players who are going to be looking to come into the first team, and also examining stuff like training schedules and the kind of things that really have a direct impact on young players. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that series, but as a result, I'm not going to cover these guys as the majority of them will fall into that category. But you can see here they've come in for around a total of £1 million, and out of these players, just a few players to highlight. Here we have Alekos Nikolaidis. I said I was going to nickname him the Spartan. I can't even type. Spartan. I wish I could type in the dark. I can't. My keyboard, okay, has black keys on it, so I can't actually see what I'm typing. I think I just spelled Spartan wrong. I'll go fix it later. I'm still yet to nickname Kid, but I have selected a winner for the Kid nickname thing. Let's do that now, otherwise I'll forget it. Right, where are you, Kid? Now, the winner of this, I don't know who suggested it, but it was funny. We are going to be nicknaming Kid Kidney Bean. In fact, let's put a hyphen in, so it's like a play on words. Because someone was like, he should be called Kidney Bean. So there you go. That was the most voted up comment at the time of doing this video. So that is the name that we will be giving our youngster. Anyway, on to the more serious topic of transfers. As you can see here, probably as many players that we sold brought in. Really adding a lot of strength and depth. We'll start off here with Alan. This guy, Brazilian forward, really good player. Going to be our 4th choice striker, but also provides nice coverage out on the right wing. Got that pace, got that wing playability. So a very good kind of backup player for us there. Coming in for just shy of £1 million. Yuto Ono, another player coming in for just shy of £1 million. Great Japanese player. This guy is very good. He's actually been on the decline a little bit lately. I don't really know what the general pattern for that is. Hopefully he can set the record straight. If I had to hazard a guess, perhaps to do with his adaptability. Coming to the UAE, playing in desert conditions, and kind of moving to a foreign country with a very different culture to Japan can really, with any country, it can kind of affect a player's development as they try and settle in. So he's come in, good little player, good on the left wing, can play attacking midfield as well, which is really nice. Here we have Emmanuel Suaga, we'll go with it. I'm not sure that's how we say it. But this guy, really nice backup. Going to be our kind of 4th choice centre-back. Come in for just shy of 3.5 million, 3.4 million. Perhaps a higher amount paid. But we did have a little bit of money to spend. And with the sales of a lot of our strikers and without a need to improve our striking area, I was more than happy to spend a little bit more than what perhaps I'd be normally willing to spend on that guy. Next we have Jesse Lingard. Good player, this guy. Very talented out on the wings. what can I say? Going to be a nice backup. Can play anywhere in the attacking midfield region, which again, nice coverage as a backup player, and coming in for just £1.6 million from Manchester United. Pretty happy with that dealing. Anyway, a few more players to tell you guys about. I'm actually going to leave my centre-back set up till last because I'm particularly excited about that. But here we have Hatton Baybury. This guy, good little player. Scored 2 goals on his debut last game. I think he plays for he does play for Saudi Arabia. So he's a good little player, lots of pace, kind of a second or third choice striker, and going to really kind of harass defences with his pace and physical ability. Anyway, just a few more players to tell you guys about. Here we have Goussier. This guy, amazing defensive midfielder, adds a little bit of coverage in that region, but his mentals are really what stood out to me, and he's going to be a really good tutor coming in on a free on £5,000 a week. Really can't argue with that. So anyway, just 2 more players to tell you about before I get onto the centre-back excitement kind of factor, the thing that got me buzzing this transfer window. Here we have Emir Salibasic. This guy, okay, comes from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Is that how you say it? I'm not even sure. But he's a good player nevertheless. I'm going to touch more upon him in the academy, but he was one of the players who came in the transfer window for a paid fee of £17,000. Anyway, last but not least, before we get into the last few players, Michel here, great player, the Brazilian under-21 international, amazing, well-rounded off wing-back, going to do a job for us. Really lacked a fullback. Last year we kind of fell onto Happy Jelly. Really didn't kind of make it up to us. So I wanted to really strengthen up that region, especially with Happy Jelly leaving out. And Bikacic as well, who was also kind of our backup right back. And this guy really does the work for us. I had to look long and hard for this guy. Come in for £4.4 million. Perhaps a fairly, I want to say, exotic fee paid, probably a little bit more than I'd like, but nevertheless he was the best right back on the market that we could get, and I'm very pleased to have signed him. So anyway, as I mentioned, 2 centre backs in the defensive region was the area that I was particularly happy with progressing in the transfer window. Michel was a good player who contributed to that, but the 2 big players for us here are Cara and Rodrigo Godinez. These 2 guys are superb. Here we have Godinez, very good player. Mexican international, got his first cap just recently. He's only 22 years old, plenty of future ahead of him. He is playing close to his current kind of overall ability and I guess his potential ability, but nevertheless, I think he's going to be a very, very good player for us and a rock at the centre-back position. Combine that with Cara, who is an absolute monster, probably the best player in the club. Broke the bank a little bit on wages to get him in, but this guy is a monster. Amazing aerial ability, amazing mentals, very solid physicals for a centre-back. Perhaps not the paciest of players, but I do think this guy's got something absolutely massive to offer us. And coming in from Genk, I think he's a steal at the price that we got him for, which was, I think it was like £5 million. Yeah, £5 million we got him for. So as you'll notice, we did really strengthen up the defensive regions. The reason for that being is that I am looking to kind of evolve our system over time now. We've played a 4-4-2 for a long time, and I want to start experimenting a little bit more and going with tactics that I guess are a little bit less conventional as we move up through the divisions. So whilst this season I'm going to be sticking with the 4-4-2, I have kind of tried to swing the direction of our team and get us better suited to the system that I ultimately would like us to play in a few years, which is this 5-3-2 formation. Fans of the FC United and Manchester series will recognise this. I really love this system. Currently training it just for the sake of getting players' familiarity with it up. I think it's a good tactic from the sense that it kind of incorporates our 3 amazing centre-backs into one formation. Varela, Godinez and Cara are going to be amazing centre-backs, and then when you consider we have Ramon and Michel who can play the 2 wing-back positions, it just feels like that's the way to go. Using wing-backs has always been something that I enjoy doing in FM, and I guess this change of direction in the next few seasons is going to kind of reflect that. As a result, you'll notice that a lot of the wider players that we have been trained to play slightly narrower or up front. There are very few players, in fact, now who play exclusively on one wing or another. Again, that was a result of some of the sales that we made. But all in all, this is the system I'm striving to kind of achieve. I think it's one that could suit us really well in a few seasons' time. And yeah, you know, we'll see how we get on with it. But for now, we are going to be sticking with a 4-4-2. And we're going to see how it gets on today as we go straight into our cup game. So anyway, we'll see how we get on today against Sahel. What league are they in? Let's find out. They are in the World Division 16. They're currently 5th place in their division, Tunisian team. So hopefully we can get a result here. I think I'm going to pretty much stick with the team I played in my previous game. Unfortunately for us, Hansel Verrett is currently out with a virus. But nevertheless, we look fairly strong besides that. I'm actually going to make 1 or 2 changes here. Why not? Let's give players like Sugihara a chance at left wing back. You know, it's a chance, these kind of cup games, to maybe play some of the younger players and get them really developing. And I do feel like Kenji Sugihara, who is currently being tutored by Gusier, the Turkish defensive midfielder. I feel like these guys are really going to kind of develop nicely, and this guy is certainly one to watch at left back. So anyway, let's see how we got on today. We are playing against Sahel in the cup. Never an easy game, these kind of cup games that we've had. You'd have to say that we probably should be expecting to beat these teams, just simply because we have I guess a stronger team on paper. But it's a weird one, because I know a lot of people, whenever I talk about these cup games, always say, oh, your team's better, you know, you should be fine. In FM, it feels like, to me at least, when I'm playing some of these games against bigger rep teams, that my players feel slightly daunted by the task. No matter what team talk I do, they don't always respond particularly well. I kind of have a set of team talks that I prefer to do. But, I don't know. I always feel like there's an element of uneasiness, maybe, in these cup games. Like, they're not as easy as they appear. Well, we've just scored. That's not too bad. Oh, it's been given offside. I did think it was offside. There's a weird bug at the moment with the 2D pitch view and the 2D pitch not quite lining up properly in windowed mode. So I just need to see if it's a problem this game, because obviously, if you don't know, this is my first kind of few games on the 40... Yeah, okay, we've got the bug. Let me change this up. Basically, I'll just explain this really quickly. This line here, on 2D pitch view, isn't actually there. It's actually further back, and as a result the goals are also further back, but in the 2D view they don't line up. So we are going to switch to 3D for the sake of this, and this will probably be something I have to do for the next few episodes until a fix comes out for this. So hopefully you guys can still see the ball. That's my main kind of hesitancy behind using the 3D pitch engine, is that not everyone can see the ball, particularly if you're viewing on a mobile device, because obviously YouTube compresses videos, and despite the fact I have the brighter ball mod installed, it's not always particularly easy to see it. But anyway, we'll see how we got on here. Barbosa, we are a goal down. Rojas, get the ball in the box, get it in. There we go. Behebri with the goal, getting his 3rd goal in 2 games. Good little player he's been. Obviously, he's the Saudi Arabian striker who came in. Bit of a punt him, really. He's only really going to be back up to Gabriel Barbosa and Vera. Obviously, with the departures of Vidra and Rascadani, I needed a few decent backup strikers, and he's certainly looking like he's going to fill the void in our team that perhaps they left us. They have a chance there. Let me slow down this slightly. Why can I not slow down my highlight? Oh, I can. There we go. Is that too slow now? I don't know. We'll go with that. On your bike, son. I don't know. The thing that I mean, people ask, Jack, why do you not use the 3D pitch view? Oh, Will Hughes, it's the crossbar. The reason I don't use it is simply because I prefer the 2D pitch view. It's kind of the view which I played on growing up through all the championship managers. It's what I like. I find that I can see kind of patterns in play emerging if I watch full games in 2D. And the same on goals. And at the end of the day, I have goals on highlights 3D, so you guys get the kind of aesthetic value of a 3D goal whenever kind of a goal goes in during my videos. But if people want me to start playing on 3D, there's no reason why I can't do it for the entire game. But I do just have a few concerns of my own when it comes to being able to see the ball and other little bits and pieces. But anyway, at the moment, 1-1. We're on the counter here. Gabriel Barbosa, use your pace and hits it. Keeper tips it over. We're looking very good here. End-to-end stuff, though. But this is kind of good to see. I'm really looking to see our attack perform well here. Obviously, we have got our newish defence, so team cohesion still isn't quite there, but it's one of those things which I'm hoping will come with time, as currently their keeper is having an absolute star show. Rojas hammering it in. Godinez can't get it in. And now we have to get back and defend. But so far, so good. 1-1 is not a bad result, and we certainly look like we're creating a handful of chances. And there's no reason why in the second half we can't grab enough if we keep it up. I'm pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. Look at that. They look delighted. Let's move on into the second half. Let's kind of terrorise their defence even more in this half, hopefully. We've got plenty of options on the bench if need be. But we'll see how things go for now. We're looking not too bad. We are having slightly more of the ball, which is good to see. And I don't know. I'm feeling fairly optimistic and pretty chirpy about our performance so far. Although time is ticking away. Michel Bastos, get it in the box. Kara, Rojas, keeper saves again. Is their keeper on drugs? He must be. This is not fair. It's not fair. FM this year. Keepers seem better, but that's a good thing. I don't know. A lot of people seem to... I always see people saying, oh, the keepers are OP this year on FM. I don't know why everyone talks like a bit of a chav. But no, I hear people kind of murmuring on forums and various places about keepers being OP. In my opinion, this year it's better that keepers are OP than every shot goes in. And I don't know about you guys, but it seems like the key chances are now linked with the clear-cut chances. So if you play on key chances, you actually see saves now rather than either woodwork hits, set-piece misses, or goals. Because on FM13 it kind of felt like every key highlight was going to result in a goal, whereas this year I really like the key highlights. I think they're a lot better. But anyway, we've got extra time here. This is not what I wanted, because this is going to drain our players. But it's one of those things. Team is looking fairly knackered. Really can't afford to do too many subs, unfortunately, as we only have one left and I don't want to use it now. FM cheese would kick in and we would immediately get an injury because that's what happens in FM. But we have got to defend here as the... Wow, okay, that cross hit the crossbar. That was a little bit too close for comfort. A little bit too close for comfort, but hopefully... Oh, I don't want penalties. Don't give me penalties, game. That's all I ask. Just don't do it. If goal now, and it's probably going to win the game. 8 minutes left. Richard. Bybree. Get it up. Let's work this. Work the space. See what I did there. Ono. Go on, Yuto Ono. The sub. Whip it in. Bybree. Oh, they've defended it. Back in. Back in the mixer. Go on, Richard. Oh, okay, never mind. Quick, make a sub. It's not going to make a difference, but make it anyway. Let's get on a slightly better penalty taker. That's how tactical we're getting now. Oh god, penalties. Yeah, we'll go with our assistant's pick. Why not? Oh god, I hate penalties so much. Where's the continue button? I'm being serious now. Where's the confirm button? It's gone. Really? Is this a joke? Where's the confirm button? Oh dear. This isn't good. Am I being blind or is it genuinely not here? I'm looking everywhere. I'm on Bergkamp V4. And so, because I'm on Bergkamp V4, it means that some of the panels have stopped working, but I didn't think I was going to have a problem in game that meant I couldn't continue. What about if I go here? Can I hit... Where's the continue button? Oh, guys, I'm going to have to work something out of here. I actually don't know what to do. I might have to holiday today and play this game again. What the fuck? Now I can't even seem to select a player to take my penalties. Well, this. Yeah, I don't know what to say here. I'm sorry. There isn't even a play button or something up here that I could just hit. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go and I'm going to attempt to work out how to fix this and see if there is a fix. So, be right back. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Houston, we have a problem. If there was a way I could get back onto them... Can I go on holiday? I can't go on holiday. I've broken the game. Well, this is awkward. I can't even seem to get onto the penalty taking now because tactics is greyed out. Oh, guys, I want to apologise for not being able to give you a satisfactory result. I'm going to have to holiday this game, I think, just to see what happens. Fortunately, it was a draw, so it's not like it's going to swing the tie in one way or another, really. Yeah, I'm going to have to holiday this. And I can't holiday it without reloading the save, unfortunately, because the game's broken. And I can't go on tactics now to reselect my penalty takers, so yeah. I guess I will end on this bombshell. Not exactly the conventional end to an episode, but hopefully you guys do understand. There is no continue button for whatever reason on the Bergkamp v Foreskin on the latest update. You said Foreskin. Anyway, I'm going to end it here, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, hit the like button. I hope I'm not being blind and I've missed the confirm button, but it seems like even now there is no option for me to get back to the penalty takers. I can't just hit play. It's just broken. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in a bit, I suppose. If you have enjoyed, hit the like button. If I was blind and I made a stupid mistake, or you've had any problems like this on the latest FM update, let me know down in the comments. And other than that, I will talk to you guys in a bit. It's me, Jack, and I'm out, guys.